Welcome back to Module 2 for the following CEU course on optimizing sports nutrition to improve performance and recovery in college baseball. My name is Justin, and we are going to be looking at optimizing carb loading protocols for college baseball. As stated previously, this is an intermediate level course suitable for dietitians, coaches, and trainers alike looking to enhance and improve their understanding of sports nutrition. And as previously stated in Module 1, there will be a quiz with an optional reflectional prompt at the end of this lecture with answers linked in the description below, along with all sources utilized for each of these videos in the module series. There will be 3 learning objectives for this module: to explain the purpose and physiological methods of each carb loading metric, to compare and contrast the 4 main types of carb loads, and to apply appropriate carb loading protocols for events such as doubleheaders or the playoffs. To begin, carb loading is a strategy used to maximize glycogen stores in the muscles before athletic events. Though traditional carb loading is most associated with endurance sports such as long distance running, some modified versions can be applied to baseball during the playoffs or doubleheaders. And there are 4 main types of carb loading protocols. The first one that we're going to look at is the classic carb loading method, or the depletion method. It lasts roughly 7 days and has 3 phases. Days 1 to 3 involve depleting your glycogen through intense training and a low carb diet, roughly 10%. 4 to 6 is where you taper your training and introduce a high carb diet of around 70% total carbs. And day 7 involves rest before the event. This is supposed to trigger super compensation of your glycogen stores. However, it can cause fatigue, mood swings, and adverse health effects if done improperly, so it is rarely used now. Now we'll look at the modified carb loading or taper method. It lasts roughly 5 to 7 days, and it has 2 phases: a gradual reduction in training volume over 5 to 7 days, and an increased carb intake of going from 50 to 70% of carbs over that same period of time. This method is easier on the body, as it still achieves high muscle glycogen levels, and it is best suited for team sports or multi-game events, such as baseball. Now we'll look at the rapid carb loading. The 24 to 48-hour method, it lasts 1 to 2 days. It's used for back-to-back competitions, such as doubleheaders. It involves a high carb intake of 10 to 12 grams or kilogram per body weight a day for 24 to 48 hours before an event. It does work well if glycogen is already at a moderately full level within the body, but it requires low activity levels during loading. And as mentioned with this method right here, it can cause fatigue and mood swings and potentially be adverse to your health. And finally, we look at the race week carb taper, or the daily fueling focus. This method is common in modern team sports and involves increasing your carb intake 2 to 3 days prior to a game or event. And there's 3 things that it focuses on: frequent meals and snacks, high carb snacks and with low in fiber, hydration with electrolytes, and a decrease in training load. With this in mind, baseball can utilize some modified carb loads. And as we have shown through this lecture, the modified or rapid approach is most applicable for baseball, as it can be most utilized in doubleheaders, the playoffs, and conference tournaments. With this in mind, carb optimization does matter in collegiate baseball. Though full carb loading isn't always necessary, strategic carb loading and strategic carb timing can improve performance during doubleheaders or travel-heavy playoffs. Now, thank you guys for listening. It is time for the quiz. I will give you guys time to look at all 5 questions here. And if you feel that this is not enough time to look over the questions, you feel free to pause at any moment in the video. As stated previously, the answers to these questions will be provided in a link in the description. Now we have the reflection prompt. I will give you guys time to look at the prompt and what your response should include. And while I'm giving you time for this, Thank you all for watching Module 2 of the following CEU course. I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you in Module 3.